There's a stranger living in your future. Same name, same face, older, tired, counting on you. And tonight at 11 p.m., you're about to tear down their house. I'm Stan. I'm a software engineer and a veteran. I'm not a financial advisor, and I'm definitely not selling you a course. I just manage every dollar of my own money, and I do the math that most people skip. Let's get into it.
There's a stranger living in your future. Same name, same face, older, tired, counting on you. And tonight at 11 p.m., you're about to tear down their house. The stranger is you in 30 years. They didn't ask you to be rich. They asked for one thing: that the house you're sitting in front of tonight is still standing when they get there. Marcus is 31. 4 years at the same job. His 401k has more money in it than he's ever seen in one place. And tonight at 11 p.m. on a Tuesday, he's logging in to take it apart. Here's the metaphor that carries this whole video. Your 401k isn't an account, it's a house. The person who lives in it is the older you, the tired you, the version of you that can't work anymore. Right now, that house is still being built. Every paycheck, another beam goes up. Every year, the roof gets stronger. The stranger doesn't live there yet, but they're counting on it being there when they arrive. But tonight, there's a storm. The medical bill came Tuesday. The transmission went Thursday. Rent is due Monday. And the only roof big enough to cover all three is the one the stranger is supposed to live in. So Marcus does what millions of people do, in kitchens just like this one. He opens the page that says Hardship, Withdrawal, and he stares at it. Before he clicks anything, I need you to see what tonight actually costs, not the part the website prints, the part it hides. Because tonight, at this kitchen table, we're going to do the math the bank doesn't want Marcus to see. And then we're going to make sure you never have to sit in this chair. 3 months ago, Marcus wasn't sitting at the kitchen table in the dark. He was fine. Steady job, steady paycheck. Bills mostly paid on time. The kind of fine where you don't think about money, you just live. Then the envelope came, the hospital kind. Manila, window in front, heavier than it should be. He left it on the counter for 2 days because he already knew what was inside. 1 trip to the ER, 1 night, no surgery, just tests and 4 hours in a hospital bed. The bill alone would swallow an entire month of take-home pay. He checked his savings. The starter cushion he meant to build eventually. Supposed to be $3,500. The actual balance? Almost zero. He'd been meaning to start. He never did. 2 weeks later, the car wouldn't start. Click. Silence. He sat in the driveway for 10 minutes before calling in late. The mechanic called with the diagnosis. Transmission. The repair would cost more than rent. Or, option B, take the bus to a job that doesn't run on the bus line. He did the math out loud on paper. Rent, hospital, car, paycheck. The numbers didn't care how hard he'd been working. They just didn't add up. There was no money. Not in checking, not in savings, not from a parent. The only money left in his entire life was sitting in one place, the 401k he hadn't touched since day one. He moves the cursor over the button that says Withdraw. He's clicked through 3 warning screens to get here. Each one asked if he was sure. Each one knew the answer. Here's what he doesn't know yet. 2 different bites are coming. The IRS is going to take its cut twice. Once for being early, once for being income. Both bites come from the same number. The first bite, the early withdrawal penalty. He's not old enough to touch this money without consequence. Before anything else happens, the IRS reaches in and takes its piece off the top. Then the second bite, the dollars that survive the penalty count as income, so they get taxed again, same year, same return, stacked right on top of his regular paycheck. He typed in the number he needed. The notification pings 48 hours later. The amount that actually landed in his account? About $7,000. Here's the trap. To actually walk away with enough cash, he didn't need to withdraw what the bill said. He needed to pull closer to $15,000. The IRS takes its cut from the gross. That gap, pure fee, charged just for the privilege of accessing money he had already earned. His own money. He didn't borrow. There's no payment plan. The money is just gone, subtracted. confiscated by a system that lets you save first and punishes you for needing it back. And here's what nobody tells you. The fees Marcus paid, that's the visible cost. The real cost, the one he can't see yet, is much, much bigger. Remember the stranger? The older Marcus. Same name, same face, just 30 years tired, sitting on a porch, counting on the house to still be there. Tonight, without ever meeting him, Marcus made that house smaller. Money in a retirement account doesn't sit there. It grows. It doubles again. Over 30 years, every dollar tonight is meant to become many dollars later. That's the whole deal. When Marcus pulled that money out, he didn't just lose what he took. He lost everything those dollars were going to become. Compound growth doesn't pause. You don't get it back. It just dies. The amount Marcus pulled out tonight, in 30 years, in a normal average market, would have grown to about $46,000. That was sitting on the table. He left was paper. But the total gap, what the stranger had versus what the stranger has now, is closer to $115,000. Not in fees, in future. Marcus didn't see that on any receipt. The IRS doesn't print it. The plan administrator doesn't show it. The biggest cost of the night is the one he'll never feel, until he becomes the stranger. Picture it. 30 years from tonight. The stranger walks up to the house he was supposed to retire into. He turns the key, and the rooms inside are smaller than he was promised. Here's why this is happening more, not less. The rule used to be tight. Documentation, proof, approval. Now? A box, a click, a confirmation screen. The wall is gone, and the raids went up. Year after year, more people, more often. Not because people got reckless, because the door got wider and the storms kept coming, both at the same time. People aren't reckless. They're out of options. No shelter outside the house. No fun for a bad week or a bad season. When the storm hits, the only roof they have is the one meant for the stranger. The stranger is still waiting, still on his porch, still counting on the house, still hoping you don't tear it down before he gets there. He's got time on his side, but only if you don't take it. Different morning, different kitchen, same paycheck range. Meet Carlos, same kind of job Marcus has, same bills. But when his bad month came, and it did, he didn't have to touch the house. Carlos built a shelter, outside the house, layer by layer. Each one small, each one boring, each one finished before the next one started. Not earnings, not luck, just the order he stacked them in. First layer, the starter cushion, about $3,500. Just enough to absorb a bad week, a flat tire, a copay, a short paycheck, without a credit card and without the house. Second layer, emergency fund, bigger. Not for a bad week, for a bad season. The kind of stretch where paychecks stop, or the surgery happens, or the transmission goes. Behind both layers, the house stays locked. The 401k never gets touched. Not for a flat tire. Not for a bad month. Not for a bad year. The door stays sealed. Last year, Carlos's engine blew on the highway. A big repair bill. He didn't panic. He didn't open a laptop at midnight. He moved money from layer 2. The house never knew it was a bad month. Decades from tonight, Carlos's house finishes at about $405,000. Marcus's finishes at about $290,000. Same income, different order of operations. The stranger pays the difference every month, forever. And if you're Marcus tonight, if the door is already open, there's still a layer 1 waiting for you on the other side of this storm. The shelter doesn't end the moment you needed it. It begins the day you didn't. Because the stranger living in your future doesn't need you to be perfect. He just needs the house standing when he finally gets home. Build him a porch this week, even a small one. He'll know who left the light on. Your 401k is your future self's house. Don't rob it early. Early withdrawal, penalty plus income tax. 2 hits, 1 mistake. Need 10k? You pull 15k? The IRS takes the rest off the top. Build a $3,500 starter cushion. That's your storm shelter. Savings takes the hit. The 401k stays locked. Always. Those are your takeaways. I'm Stan. a real person behind this channel, and it genuinely matters to me that this helps you. If you learned something today, hit like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And drop your story in the comments. We all make mistakes, we all learn. I'd love to hear what's worked for you.